screams jealous.
No, it doesn't sound
Look,
like
I'm
that.
tired of
So we'll
it.
talk next week.
If you can't fold the straw,
Hey, drink fast. Here, take the cup. Hey, take the cup.
Americans are not winning their battle against obesity. One study found that obesity rates for adults actually rose in 28 states this year.
What is officially the biggest health crisis in American history. 34% of American adults, 17% of our children are considered obese.
Obesity problem in the United States has increased, and I have witnessed it as well. I feel like it has to do with video games and technology. Now that there's more technology in the world and given to children, children rather stay indoors and play the Xbox X, Xbox One, PS4, the Nintendo Switch, anything that's new coming out. So they have no reason in going outside anymore.
Considering that we live in a capitalistic society, number one, so I think that this whole country is like one large restaurant. So you can't look in any direction without bumping into one. So there's two major things in this country. It's like one big mall, and in between each store is a restaurant. So there's an excess of food, number one, because we're such a rich country and we pride ourselves in entrepreneurship. So whether it's franchise restaurants that serve really unhealthy food or even mom and pop restaurants here and there that sometimes don't practice the best cooking habits or the way they prepare their food, I don't think is the healthiest. I think it's not surprising. That statistic is not surprising at all. Actually, I would be surprised if it was any different. Another thing is that the way we treat professional sports, it's like so few, it's almost like very few people practice sports and everybody else is a spectator. You know, no kid ever, it's unrealistic for a kid to think that he's gonna make it to the NBA, for example. So what does he do? He becomes a fan of the NBA. And what does being a fan of the NBA mean, usually, for example? Well, you go to the stadium, perhaps. When you go to the stadium, you consume Cokes, nachos, popcorn, burgers, hot dogs, candy, soft drinks. Or if you watch it at home, you get together with your friends. What do? You make a carne asada, you buy snacks, chips. So the fact that so very few people become professional athletes and the rest of us are just spectators, I think is adding to the problem.
Yes, according to psychology, all the commercials program on our television and whatever channel we're watching, they're being used on purpose. So let's say the sports fan, they'll usually would include more television advertisements about food so that they could go out and eat.
A burger smothered in A1 butter, topped with sizzling steak and crispy onions for just $1.99? That's high fashion flavor at a thrift store price. The A1 buttery steak burger, Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
This just in, Wendy's is adding the double stack as an option in the 4 for $4 for a limited time. With over a quarter pound of fresh beef, that's a deal so good it should not exist. Like bumblebees should not be able to fly because their wings are too small for their bodies.
Wait, we're not supposed to fly?
Yeah, kind of like how a quarter pound of beef should not be in the 4 for $4.
But it is, along with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink, all for just $4. Any other bee puns?
No, we're good, honey.
The double stack in the 4 for $4. A deal so great, it's impossibly good.
We usually cook at home, always.
We just eat fast food in the morning or at night, which can be at 2 in the morning sometimes. We don't really, it's rare when we make homemade food.
Is that we do a lot of home meals. My wife is very good at cooking. I help whenever I can or get a chance to help. And I would say we probably eat about 90% of our meals are made at home.
2 magazines are hitting stands at the same time. Both are the 2015 body issues, but with such different covers. Us Weekly is picked Jennifer Lopez, while People has gone with size 22 model Tess Holliday. So this isn't just a battle of 2 magazine covers, it's a battle about body image in Hollywood.
I really want to be able to like show my body off because, you know, there haven't been not many plus size women at all like showing their bodies
This whole
off.
thing about like, you know, they're trying to normalize and say like, hey, you don't have to be in shape or a supermodel, right, to be on the cover of Cosmopolitan or to be an object of beauty and admiration, right? It's like a healthy at every size kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when I saw this, I was like, you know, if you're going to criticize magazines for putting anorexic girls on the cover, which promotes an unhealthy lifestyle, I don't see that this is any different. When you put a morbidly obese person on a magazine and glorify it, that's just as unhealthy as anorexia.
Now that in society people are saying that you should accept yourself any way possible, if you should accept yourself if you're chubby, if you're really skinny, there's nothing there. Everybody talks about there's beauty in every shape and sizes. However, in my opinion, there's a fine line and there's a difference between it. Overweight models paint a wrong picture of what true beauty should be. True beauty should be when you're born already chubby, when you're born really skinny and there's no way, and there's difficult to gain weight. Overweight models are making kids saying, oh, it's perfectly fine to be chubby. So when they say they're gaining weight, they're not stopping. They just keep eating and eating and eating. And that's what they're painting. Because there's a fine line between healthy fat and overweight fat. It's okay to probably be 200 pounds, but it's not okay to be 300, 400, 500. That is a major health problem and health risk that you're putting yourself into that I feel like overweight models and society is not thinking about.
I don't think they're bad, like a bad idea, promoting a bad idea. I think it gives confidence to many women out there. These women, models, come and say, you know what, it's okay, accept yourself. So I think that's a good idea. Like, it's letting out more people openly to talk about it, and it's okay to show off your curves.